You guys know the second you see this map, the second you see this setting, you already know we're talking about Dragon Empire. But I've been very critical on Dragon Empire for the last year. Well, despite Z-Lance, I still feel Z-Lance is very strong. But here's another guy that's came out that I have very high praise for. But it may just be because we've not had Tachikaze in such a long time. Finally, we have a deck that's actually Tachikaze the entire way. And is it any good? Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm Season4 here. Today I am back to talk about Iron Emperor Dragon Gargrex in Cardfight Vanguard. It's a DivineZ based deck, so I can't say in DivineZ. But this deck is so look at this art. This is the funniest art ever, right? They're all dinosaurs. The whole deck is a dinosaur deck. It's based on a brand new character in Skyride. This is him and spoilers, his brother's deck as well, and they both play Gargrex. They're both dinosaur players, and in the manga they do say it's really cute that, oh, we got this at a garage sale and that's why we bought them both, which is freaking hilarious because if you actually look at this entire deck, there is no foils in this deck. The whole deck came as a promotional deck set as part of Corocoro. I don't know when it's coming to English. I know I get that question a lot, so I'm just gonna say now, I don't know when it's coming to English, but if you are a Japanese player, I 1,000,000% recommend you pick it up because this whole deck can be bought for less than 1,000 yen. The only expensive card in this deck is the manga promo, which is this one, Dino Fest, right? He comes from the Skyride manga, not the Skyride magazine. He's worth about 1,000 yen as well on Yuyute. So if you buy a whole deck, right, for the entire playset, and the whole deck, because you do need him in this deck, he is a very strong card, you can get this entire deck as well for less than 5,000 yen total, like fully built, competitively finished in less than 5,000 yen. So again, I really love how a lot of the Skyride decks that are meant for the children, because it's in a Corocoro magazine, they tend to really price down and keep them at relatively cheap price points for many players to hop on. And yeah, I'm frankly really impressed with this deck because it's really unique. Like, for the power level they printed on these cards are actually really strong for a whole pack of commons and reprints. And they are really good reprints as well. We got Alien Rush as a reprint in this deck set. We got freaking Eosauras as a common, which is like, come on man, I just got my high rare version. Like, there is so many dinosaur reprints. They even reprinted Brachiosaurus again. Albeit they reprinted the second art, not the first, but frankly, this card's been reprinted to death. And like, the strongest rear guard in this deck is a rare from DZBT10. Like, he's only 20 yen, so like, you really can buy this whole non-foil deck for less than 5,000 yen net total if you count Dino Fest. And if you don't count Dino Fest, you can just buy the whole deck for like 1,000 yen, which I've checked is about what, $10 or less, I think. So yeah, it's really affordable here. I really hope that, you know, Skyride picks off. I can't say picks off, it really has picked off. I really wish this deck really picks off as well because it's really fun. And let me talk about it because I've been playing this deck so much. And yeah, honestly, I may just even bring this to WGP as well if I wasn't already committed to playing stuff like Vanguard. But like, this deck is so fun, I definitely will bring this to a few locals because you'll see, it's all dinosaurs. The whole deck is just dinosaurs, and I'm just so excited. So I really hope you guys like this deck as well because I really did. And again, because it's so cheap, right? Like, all the dinosaur decks in standard are actually kind of cheap. Like, we have Vanatio, who is the Savages based deck, and he's like a 2,000 yen deck, right? Because you just need 4 cabbages, who is like 300 yen. And then the rest of the triple rares are all 150 yen because no one wants to play the deck. The secret rare is 1k 500 yen, which is like, I don't know, $10 or less. So it's all really affordable. It's freaking insane. It's a great time to be a Tachikaze player. It's a great time to be Dragon Empire again, baby, because finally we are getting actually playable good stuff that doesn't feel overtuned. Because Dragon Empire for the longest time, in my opinion, it's either too weak or too strong, right? We have Varga, we have Basagra, that's too strong, and we have 2 weak decks like Eugene. Now we finally have proper decks in between, stuff like Z-Lance, Elquilibra, Whirlbell, stuff like this too. Really happy for it. So it's time to make Dragon Empire mid again. Okay, actually I shouldn't say that, but yeah. Our right line is a purist dino right line. Honestly, I feel kind of bad for Spino Marquis because Spino Marquis actually did get a right line in the Youthquake manga, but they've just never printed it. It's been over a year now, And like, I don't know why Bushiroad just doesn't want to. Actually, Bushiroad doesn't want to print anything from Youthquake. So why? Like, do you guys hate Youthquake? I mean, I'm not a big fan of Youthquake, but do you guys hate Youthquake? This is Baby Dragon Gargrex. Yolyu Gargrex. So he's got that really cute, like, bombastic side eye. Like, I don't know, man. This is half the reason why I picked up this deck. Look at this card and tell me you're not laughing. Look at him. He's just staring at you like Queles. Like, I love this guy so much. And then his great one, Tetsolyu Gargrex Iron Arm Dragon. Gargrex. Or was it Iron? I remember it's Iron Claw Dragon. Gargrex. Yeah. So when you write Iron Arm Dragon Gargurex on top of him, the grade 2. You can look at the top 5 cards of your deck, choose the one Dinodragon from among them, and add it to your hand and shuffle the deck. So this deck focuses on the Dinodragon race, which is why I said this whole deck is just dinosaur. There is no human, there is no cabbage, there is no dog, high beast, human, plant, dragon. No! The whole deck is dinosaur. It's all dino DNA, which is why I'm doing this video, because, you know, come on. The second skill, his rearguard skill, is not the rearguard skill, sorry. His other skill is just when discarded during your turn, when discarded from your hand due to an ability or retired from your rearguard circle during your turn, if your Vanguard is a Dino Dragon race, you can put this card in the soul. Now, the fact that a lot of the Gargrex right line support, which you'll see later, does actually specify Dino Dragon race, you can play these with Spinal Marquis. Okay, I want to make sure I'm clear. You can play this alongside Spinal Marquis, the whole deck. It is completely okay. The only issue is if you want to play the support that directly mentions Gargrex, which there is one that does, you'll see. That is Dino Blem. Dino Blem does state Gargrex by name. So if you play all the Dino Dragon cards together, you can still play in Spinal Marquis. It's just that if you want to play Gargrex, you have the Gargrex support as well, which is nice. So yeah, this card is good as a generic dinosaur support because dinosaur decks seem to have a soul problem. If you've played stuff like Gargrex, if you've played stuff like Spinal Marquis, you realize you burn your soul a lot quicker than people tell you. And that's weird because Dragon Empire decks don't really burn out soul, right? Like even El Calibra doesn't have a soul issue. So the fact that they gave this card, not just for Gargrex, but for Spinal Marquis as well, I really appreciate it. And this is him learning to walk and now he's got a metal arm. Cool. Next one is Iron Arm Dragon. It's the Gargrex. This is Iron Claw Dragon. This is Iron Arm Dragon Gargrex. Or Tetsuwanryu Gargrex. So when this unit is rode upon by specifically Iron Emperor Dragon Gargrex, so it has to ride the 2 to the 3. So this one cannot work with Spinal Marquis, okay? So when rode upon by specifically Tekolyu Gargrex, you can pay 3 energy. Look at the top 7 cards of your deck. Choose up to 2 Dino Dragons with different names from among them. Choose one and you can put it into your hand, and then the other one you put it in the drop zone. And then after that you shuffle your deck. So yeah, I mean that is pretty fun. Like this is basically just Columbard, right? You guys know Night Rose Columbard, right? This is just Columbard, like come on, man. How much more obvious do you want to debate me? It's obviously just Columbard. And for 3 energy, that is a pretty good call, I must say, so it's myself. And because Gargrex actually has drop zone synergy, you now actually want to put dinosaurs in the drop zone. So like, it's so freaking hilarious how we've come full circle that now Ames has a Night Rose dinosaur deck. Like, come on, man. But the second skill, it's a combined rusher skill. So it's basically the same as Z-Lancer's new double rare, Indomitable X Dragon, the same as Hexorp's new double rare, where it just says, act on the drop zone if you have a grade 3 or greater Dino Dragon Vanguard EB3 and call this to an open rearguard circle. So again, you can play this in Spinal Marquis, which is really good because Spinal Marquis does need you to retire a Dino Dragon rearguard, right? So you can also just play this in Spinal Marquis as a combined rusher. It is insane. Again, these are all reprinted promo commons that you can pick up for less than 50 yen each. Like, I cannot stress to you that this is how cheap and good this deck is. Like, God, I love it so much. Last one is Tekolyu Gargrex, or Iron Emperor Dragon Gargrex. Now, this guy, he's Chris Rain. Okay, so yeah, the jig is up. This deck is just Chris Rain. I don't like Chris Rain, personal reasons, but it is just Dinosaur Chris Rain. So yeah, but you know what? For what it's worth, let's read him first before we judge him. Okay, as a continuous skill, right on the. It's a continuous skill on the Vanguard circle. He has some effects. His effects are: during your turn, all of your Dinodragon rearguards in the front row gain an additional 5,000 power. So I guess it's nice. It's half a crest. It's kind of like Glory Maelstrom if you squint. But this also does serve because Dino Blem, the deck's multi-attacker, is only 5k. Right, so they had to balance it in some way. So I guess this is the other way they could do it. Do I agree with this? Not really. But then again, knowing that Dino Blem will eventually get more support in the future, I'm okay with them printing a generic skill like this. I think that it will pay off well in the future. Its activated skill once per turn is choose a card from your hand, discard it, choose up to 2 different Dino Dragon units from your drop zone and call them to rearguard circles. If the card you discarded happened to be a Dino Dragon, choose one of your opponent's rearguards and retire it. So again, this is going to foreshadow why the Grade 1 Gargrex has the specific clause that said when retired or discarded, right? Because Gargrex as a Vanguard does actively discard cards from your hand. So he discards one and he calls 2 back. And if you discard a Dino Dragon, you smack one of your opponent's rearguards. Well, newsflash, buddy. The whole deck is Dinosaur. You can discard anything, and let me be clear, including your triggers, and you're gonna get a free snipe. That is so good, man. Like, come on. And to play up this identity, they did print something like this guy. Like, what's his name? This guy. He is pretty good for the Gargrex deck, so I do recommend you pick him up. And the fun benefit for him is that, you know, because he is a Dino Dragon, you can actually loop him with the effect of Gargrex, right? So, you know, it is nice that they have that. So you retire, you call it back. A lot of your cards in Dinosaurs tend to retire themselves historically, which is why Dino Fest, the generic dinosaur, if I can put it that way, he binds himself, right? Because they don't want you to have the Selgown issue with Rezael. So I'm glad they learned their lesson, but, you know, this may have come a bit too soon for Gargrex. I kind of wish they allowed Gargrex to loop Dino Fest. Then he would be an actual meta deck. His final skill is when his unit attacks a Vanguard, counterblast 1. And this unit gains effects equal to the number of different named Dino Dragon rearguards. So if you have 2 or more, he gets 10,000 power. 3 or more, he gets +1 drive. If you have 5 or more, and you Persona Road this turn, +1 crit. So by himself, swinging, he is a minimum 23k Vanguard with 3 drive as long as you build a decent board. It's not bad. The +1 crit, however, is much later. It only triggers when you Persona Ride and you hit the final condition. So it is a bit sad. It is a bit like Platinum Hazel. But like, frankly, the crit doesn't matter. I'm gonna come out and say early. The crit does not matter. You mainly just want this huge ass Vanguard just slapping people as hard as you can because your rearguard's already multi-attack, right? Like I mentioned. So this being a virtual Chris Rain style Vanguard where the Vanguard also has a high number and its own pressure and 3 drives, by the way, that is pretty good. And the 3 drives does only last to end of the battle. So while we are playing the very world famous Dragveda in this deck, do note that, you know, there is a bit of a drawback. The drawback is that, you know, you don't get it in the sense that you don't get 3 drives for both battles. But Dragveda was reprinted in the Corocoro magazine. Yay! Bro, that one guy on Twitter who said Basagra's main problem maker was Dragveda. I hope you're doing well, man. You have no idea what your statement has done to me. Moving on to our grade 3s. Our grade 3s are very simple. We just play 4 Gargrex with 1 in a right deck, and then we also play 1 copy of our Regalis piece, which is Excalibur. Now, Excalibur is our Regalis piece strictly because 1, it does draw 2 if you want, or 2, you can move it to the soul and counter charge 1, which this deck does actually need some resources. Counterblast wise, it's actually not an issue. It's just that down the line, especially because we do have our own Hanada half-away clone, or Vibatsuka clone, depends on what you believe in the form of Filling Rex. Yeah, so generally speaking, you will actually need to countercharge like once a game at most, and for now we don't have a dinosaur countercharger, so this is the best we can. I'm very sure down the line they're going to print us a Gojo clone for Gargrex, where it just says, oh, at the end of the battle this unit boosts, retire itself, countercharge 1. Like, it's almost 100% going to happen for Dinodragons, so I'm not too worried if, you know, if you can't afford this card, because down the line I'm almost 100% certain Dinodragons will get a countercharger. Like, there's no way they are not doing it, because as long as Gargrex is part of the Skyride cast, they're going to support him eventually, and when they do, it's going to be a countercharger, because that's really the only thing this deck does not have at this point, right? It's just that. Moving on to our grade 2s. Our grade 2s, we also play one copy of the original Gargrex in the right deck. This is the grade 2 Gargrex. So again, if you don't remember, do scroll back a bit. We play one copy of Threatening Roar. Threatening Roar, is that, or Defensive Roar? I can't remember. Defensive Roar, he's a one-off now because of the ban list, but when he does get unbanned, you can play more copies. He just helps you loop shield back, and in this deck we do play Effect France, so that's mainly its main use target. We play 3 Brachiophos. Brachiophos is still a prime time grade 2 gamer, and now with Gargrex's ability to give the front row 5000 power, he's more devastating than ever. However, the card is kind of aged badly, but the fact that he can retire himself and draw a card, and then you can loop him back is pretty effective. The same with this new guy from DZBT10. This guy, Dino Balaj, he's really good. He is also just a Boulder X clone, right? He is just a 15k attacker, then he kills himself and draw a card. Very standard. And the idea is that, you know, with Gargrex being able to build a board every turn from the drop zone, by retiring him, drawing a card, and then you just call it back next turn, it's as if you lost nothing at all. So yeah, he's pretty good. He's probably one guy you definitely want on the board at all times, which is why he's at 4, unlike Brachiophos who's at 3. Moving on to our grade 1s. Our grade 1s, we play one copy of the Gargrex in the right deck, but we also play 2 more in the main deck. Because like I said, Gargrex as a deck does need soul and does have a lot of discard applications. So in this version, we do actually play multiple of the grade 1 Gargrex, so it's not too bad. Remember that Gargrex's grade 1 skill can trigger when retired from a rearguard circle, so you can actually use this as well in conjunction with Spinal Marquise. We play 4 copies of Dinofest. Dinofest literally is just Boulder It. Like, the skill is just when this unit boosts, grade 3 opponent, if your Vanguard is grade 3 or greater and your opponent has no rearguards in his column, this unit just gets 5000 power. I'm pretty sure that's what it does. I should check that, right? Give me a second. Yeah, there's no units in the same column, this unit gets 5000 power. And then after that, the second skill is at the end of the battle that this unit boosts. Yeah, it does say that. At the end of the battle, this unit boosts. If you have more rear guards than the opponent, or if your opponent's rear guards retired this turn, you can bind this card, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, choose up to 1 grade 2 or greater unit, or a Dinodragon unit, add it to your hand without Sentinel and shuffle the deck. So yeah, I mean that is pretty fun. You can search for any grade 2 or greater, but in this deck you want to use it for the second part, which is you can search for any Dinodragon. So yeah, that does help. Now, I do know that when talking about Soul, we technically did have one more common in DZBT10, who is Explosive Dragon Eudomor Launcher. He also does just move cards in the Soul and give your Vanguard another 5. But the Gargrex grade 1 is technically better because you can use it by a discard effect. So there we go. Play 4 Perfect Guards. Frankly, doesn't matter what Perfect Guards you play. Remember, if you are in the Buddy Fight meta, such as Japan, you will need to play the Crest Sanctitude. But frankly, if not, any Perfect Guard will do. We also play 3 copies of Filling Rex. Filling Rex basically says when this unit boosts, if your Vanguard has 2 or more critical triggers, count plus 1, draw a card. I've been a long time fan of Filling Rex even before this. I own multiple copies of this deck, or of this card in multiple decks. But now that they reprinted it, I mean, sure, I do appreciate it. And it is a nice draw. So you do only need 1 Filling Rex on the board just for the 1 CB one, especially in the later game. Or if you're worried about it, you can just wait for your Vanguard's triple drive to pull your crit, and you count plus 1 and draw 1. Realistically, you are going to draw. 2, Eosphras. Eosphras is one of the main Soul Eaters, and he is one of the main culprits of Mono Red Vaga. His ability is when this unit attacks on boost, Soul plus 1, and for every grade 1 or less rear guard on the board, this unit gets 5000 power. By the way, it doesn't count himself, it's other grade 1 or less rear guards. So that's why we play a lot of grade 1 or less cards, because, you know, we do have a bit of Eosphras. Frankly, I'm not sure if Eosfras will stay in the deck in the future, but he is one of the best dinosaurs in terms of his meta application, so I guess why not. And last but not least, we also have Pursuit Patera. Pursuit Patera is also a Soul Blast user, which is why we need Soul Blast a lot. But his skill is, when this unit boosts Soul Blast 1, choose one of the boosted units, and that unit gets a skill that says, at the end of the battle that this unit attack hits, choose one of your opponent's rear guards and retire it. And I know what you're saying, Ames, why do I need this on hit? Well, it's because we do have a restander in this deck. And that restander is Dinoblem. Yes. So he's one of the other grade zeros in this deck alongside the triggers. So let me just run through it really quickly what all the grade zeros do. Because this deck's grade zeros are really important. So we play 4 copies of Dinoblem in the main deck, 1 copy of Baby Gargrex in the right deck, 3 effect fronts as I mentioned earlier. We play 8 criticals. Sadly, these criticals are not Dinodragon, but our heal triggers all are. There are multiple Dinodragon heals for some reason, so I'll take it. And 1 Drop Feather, because I love Drop Feather. Now that I got it out of the way, I can finally explain to you what Dinoblem does. Dinoblem is probably the only support card that directly mentions Gargrex at this point in time, but he is the most important because he is the deck's restander. Yes, this feeble-looking grade 0 baby is your deck's restander. What does it say? If you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Gargrex in its name, if this unit has not, when that unit attacks, if none of your units have restood by any card abilities this turn, you can Energy Blast 3, stand this unit, and this unit gets 5,000 power, and then at the end of the battle, it retires itself. Dinoblem is probably where the balancing of this deck went to, because they frankly could have printed it a lot stronger. They didn't need to print a grade 0 guy, but you know what, I am appreciative. The fact that he is grade 0 means you can toss him out as early as turn 1 and start attacking with him. But then again, he's so small, so you can just call him to a column and have him participate in attack. But later down the line, because he does say EV3 and then retire himself, he technically is a net 0 to play him. But then again, with the amount of advantage Gargrex generates, don't think that's a problem. Secondly, and more importantly, is the fact that he is your deck's restander. So this is mainly where you will put your Pursuit Patera column, right? Because Pursuit Patera will give the unit that restands the on-hit ability. So if you combine Pursuit Patera with Dinoblem, you effectively, if your opponent lets this attack hits, you can actually snipe off a lot of their board. And not only that though, if you're not even sure that Dinoblem can attack the opponent's Vanguard, if he's just 10k by himself, 5 from his ability and 5 from Gargrex's, you can just have him attack a rearguard first, right? That's totally usable. You can just have him attack a rearguard and then stand it back up, so he can counter an intercept that is potentially on the front lines. But then again, if you manage to persona and right knot, he does get bigger. I know that there is a Dinodragon in DBTO2 that does says when your grade 0 unit attacks, this unit and that unit get 5,000 power, but that card is shit, okay? Because it is a grade 2 8k body that just gives you 5k and that's it. So I'm not playing that, okay? Any comment that asks, am I playing that? The answer is no. I'm not playing that. I'm playing to win. I'm not playing to come tickle your balls and go, haha, 13k attack, 13k attack. No. I need to kill you. And this baby will do it. And yeah, that wraps up my Gargrex deck profile. Yeah, my thoughts on it, I love it. I love it so much. I don't care that this deck is not exactly meta warping or whatnot, but this is the type of Dragon Empire I have missed, man. Like this is the design space I fell in love with. Like, this is how we do it, right? We don't need to keep printing decks that are over pushed like Barsagra, or decks that are too shit, you know, like freaking Venatio or like Eugene or Vermilion. This is what Dragon Empire should look like. We should have decent numbers on all sides. We should have either net 0 plus or net 0 draw, but still be able to push out an offensive. We should still be able to retire opponents' rear guards at will, because we are Dragon freaking Empire. This is what I'm talking about. Frankly, if they print more decks like this and also maintain more thematic consistency like this, I'm going to be a lot more willing to actually pay for Dragon Empire playsets every month, because this is the kind of shit I want to see as a consumer and as a working adult. Or let me rephrase, if you're a child and saw this deck at 1,000 yen, I'm pretty sure you would buy it as well, because it's so damn fun, right? But if you keep printing shit like Barsagra, which costs you about 20,000 yen and then just forces you to play this stupid ass haha let's play solitaire deck, you're not gonna appreciate it. at all. I don't care how much Basagra, pornography you watch. You're not going to enjoy it. But this shit, you will enjoy it because it is just dinosaur. It is just easy to understand. It is fun. It's playable. A kid can play. They designed it for Corocoro kids. So if a kid can play it, I guarantee you my bottom dollar that every one of you watching this video can play this deck. It's not difficult. And really, that's really all I can end it on there. Bushiroad English. I'm not an English player, but I'm gonna just call you out once. I don't want to get political, but please, for the love of God, for the love of Messiah, bring this deck to English. It is such a good starter product for the Japanese. If you've seen the amount of reprints you pumped in here, it is phenomenal. You gave us John Veda, you gave us Eosras, you gave us Alien Rush. There is no reason why you cannot bring this to English. Please, I beg you, you do not understand the repercussions of printing good starter products. Because honestly, if you can print this, it's going to be really good for your sales. I'm not even a businessman, but I can tell you, if you print a deck like this, people are going to want to play it. That's really all I can say, because it's just that fun. I know a lot of people in my previous Skyride videos were like, oh, Ahmed, I hate Skyrides for children, or it's so lame, I want to play premium, but like, you gotta remember that games like Vanguard are children card games. They're not adult card games, right? You want to play adult card game, that's Shadowverse, when you see all the kitties and whatnot. This is a children's card game. Let's remember that. Children play this game. Children buy this game. And we don't want to make games where only the adults can afford to play. That's not the spirit of it. And decks like this recapture the fun of what it means to have a kid be able to run into a card store and just pick up a deck for 1,000 yen and say, I want to play Vanguard. This is it. Alright, so seriously, to Bushiroad English, International, whatever you call yourselves, please, for the love of God, bring this to English, because you do not understand how good this product is. For Bushiroad Japan, I hate to be a sucker, but thank you so much, Kidani, for greenlighting something like this. Holy crap. If you keep making dinosaur decks every month, I will start begging at your office places, okay? I can't stop. It physically is in my blood to keep playing Dragon Empire. So please make this. And while you're at it, can you please make a Platinum Azure Searcher? Please, please, please. Okay, you know what? I gotta stop. Someone's knocking on my door. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Take care. And what? Okay, wait.